Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be very important, especially if you live in the UK and you run a business, you've got a side hustle, or you run a limited company. If you're a freelancer, you're a consultant, or you're an artist, or you're a content creator, or you run any type of small business, there are a few financial tools that can make your life easier. And in this video, I want to share with you two essential financial tools that every business owner in the UK should seriously consider using. These tools have helped me personally to manage my business finances much better. And as some of you may know, I work in the corporate here in the UK, and I also run a limited company. And because of that, I have to manage my finances. I have to manage my clients' payments. I have to manage my business expenses. I have to manage my subscription, and I also have to pay for my business taxes. And if you don't have the right tools, business finances can quickly make life very stressful for you. But the good news is that there are some modern tools that can make everything much more easier. And today I'll be talking about the two tools that I personally use and that have helped me a lot. The first one is the Monzo Business, and the second one is the Capital on Tap Business Credit Card. These two tools work together and can make your business finances much more smoother. Also, both platforms have got referral programs, and that means if you sign up using the referral link in the description below, you may receive a reward, and I may receive a reward as well. So if you decide to sign up, please make sure that you're using the links in the description or in the comments. I'll be pinning that at the end of this video. Now, let's start with the first one. The first tool I want to talk about is the Monzo Business account. And if you run a limited company or even just a small side hustle, the thing is, having a good business account is extremely important. And many traditional banks makes business banking complicated, like opening accounts taking longer time. The applications are not always easy to use, and sometimes it's difficult to track where your money is going. But with Monzo Business, it's very, very different. Everything is done through an application, and it's simple and easy to use. So for me personally, one of the biggest advantages is being able to clearly separate my personal finances from my business finances. If you run a limited company in the UK, separation is extremely important because it makes your accounting easier. That's the first thing. It makes your tax filing easier, and it also helps you to understand how your business is actually performing. When all of your transactions are mixed in one personal spending, things can become very, very confusing. But with the Monzo Business account, everything is organized. One feature that I personally find extremely useful is the invoice creation feature. As a business owner, sometimes I need to invoice my clients. And with Monzo Business, I can actually create an invoice directly from the application, and this makes my life easier because it allows me to send professional invoices directly to clients. I can also track when my payments arrive, and I can also keep everything organized in one place. Let's take this example. If I complete a project or I provide like a service to someone, I can quickly generate an invoice and send it to them. And when the payment comes in, I can immediately see it in the application. This helps me to keep track of who has paid and who still needs to pay. So for business owners, this type of organization is extremely valuable. Another thing I really find useful with the Monzo Business is the fact that it gives me instant notifications. Every time money leaves or enters the account, I receive a notification on my phone. And that means I always know exactly what is going on with my business finances. If a client pays me, I see it immediately. If a subscription or a business expense is charged, I also see it immediately. And this helps me to keep everything in control. I control my cash flow expenses. For example, you can clearly see how much you spend on things like software subscription, marketing. You can see how much you're spending on equipment, on travel. and office expenses. And this makes life much more easier when preparing your accounts or you're working with an accountant. Another thing I really find useful and I appreciate with the Monzo Business account is how simple the application is to use. You know, you don't need to log into complicated business banking portals, and everything is designed in a modern way and it's very easy to navigate. There is, you can also export your transaction data. You can track some trends. You can track income trends. You can manage payments easily. And for business owners, saving time on financial management is extremely valuable. I also want to give a quick example related to easy payments. Sometimes when working with clients or collaborators, you can need a quick and smooth payment. And applications like Monzo have helped me in situations where I needed to send or receive payments quickly, especially with people who prefer app-based transfers. Now, let's talk about the second tool that I believe every business owner in the UK should consider. This is the Capital on Tap business credit card. If you run a limited company, you probably already know that cash flow management is one of the biggest challenges in business. And sometimes you need to pay for things before money comes in from clients. For example, advertising, software subscription, business equipment, travel, fuel, office supplies. If you always pay for everything immediately from your bank account, it can sometimes put pressure on your cash flow. That's where a business credit card can really help. When I first signed up for the Capital on Tap, one of the biggest advantages that I had was the interest-free period on purchases. For example, for the first few months after opening the account, I was able to make business purchases without paying for interest. The first few months I was able to make business purchases for free. I wasn't paying interest on that money. And this was really helpful to me because it allowed me to pay for some business expenses and then I repaid later without spending extra interest or paying for extra interest during the promotional period. For growing businesses, I think this is the kind of flexibility that can make a difference. It gives you that breathing space while you're managing your finances. Another major benefit of the Capital on Tap credit card is their reward system. That's every time you spend money using the card, you earn points. And these points can be converted into different rewards. That is cashback, Amazon gift cards, travel rewards, and other gift vouchers. What I personally like about this is the fact that you're basically getting rewarded for spending money that your business already needs to spend. And for example, when I use the card for things like paying for fuel for my car, buying groceries, business subscriptions, and other purchases, I earn points. And I earn points from those transactions over the time. Those points can then accumulate and I can convert those points back into cash. I can convert it into Amazon gift cards and I can convert it into travel benefits and or other rewards of my choice. There are numerous number of rewards that you can convert to. In some months, when I checked my rewards, I realized that I've accumulated up to like £100 and even more. There were some months that it was more just from like spending in the shops and all whatnot. Essentially, you are getting rewarded for money that you were supposed to spend anyways. And for business owners, I think that this is very smart way to, get additional value. Another advantage is the fact that the business credit card is organized. When you use one card, especially for like business expenses, it becomes much more easier to track where your money is going. And instead of having like many random transactions in your bank account, you can easily see your business spending. And this makes it much more easier when you're preparing like your account or you're reviewing your expenses. Accountants usually like when the business expenses are clearly separated like this. And that's what Capital on Tap business credit card is giving you. One thing I've personally realized with the Monzo Business and the Capital on Tap is the fact that they work very closely together. That's Monzo will help you with your core business banking And then the capital on tap, it helps you with like spending flexibility and rewards. And together they can create like a very efficient environment for managing business finances. You can receive your payments from clients in Monzo. You can send your invoices in the Monzo application. You can track your business income. You can use your capital on tap card for your expenses. You can earn your rewards from those expenses. And this combination just makes running business much easier. Running business in the UK comes with many responsibilities. You need to like manage your income, you need to manage your expenses, you need to manage your taxes, you need to manage your cash flow and your client payments. And basically, without the right tools, it can become very overwhelming. But with modern financial applications and platforms like this, it makes it much easier. So for me personally, Monzo Business and Capital on Tap have been the two most essential tools for managing my business finances. So if you run a limited company or you have a side hustle, they're definitely worth trying, and I bet you won't regret. If you want to open a Monzo Business account or you want to apply for a Capital on Tap credit card, please check the referral link in the description below. And using those links may give me a reward, and at the same time, it will help to support my channel, as well as you can earn a reward from it. So thank you very much for watching. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who runs a business or wants to run a business. And very, very important, subscribe to the channel for more practical tips about business, finance, and opportunities in the UK like this. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.